What's up, Master Elite? Today we're going to talk about inverted programming. So I like to use inverted programming for a lot of my novice to intermediate athletes who are still trying to learn technique for some of the strength movements. So I typically use this for people who are doing squats, presses, pulls, etc. I don't like using this as accessory, so this is really going to be the main movements that you're doing for the day. So a little bit about what inverted programming is. It's very similar to traditional. It's just we switch the sets and reps. So rather than doing low sets and high reps for traditional style, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to do multiple sets with low repetitions while keeping the intensity the same. So percentage-wise, they're going to be the exact same percentage. We're just working with different sets and reps. Same number of total repetitions are going to be the same. That means the total volume is going to be the same. The rest is going to be a little bit different, but we're still working the same things, okay? So if we look at the three main mechanisms for hypertrophy, we've got mechanical tension, muscular damage, and metabolic stress. So we're still going to keep the majority of those three with our inverted training. The only thing that's going to be different is the metabolic stress will be higher in our traditional training as opposed to inverted training. Because when we're doing sets of 8 to 12, we're going to be closer to achieving what we call the pump phase, right? So the pump is kind of simultaneous, it happens at the same time as we're getting more metabolic stress. While we're doing sets of 2 to 5 reps, we're not going to be getting close to the pump. We may be getting it on our last few sets of the higher set phase, but at the same time, we're not going to be close like we are with the higher repetitions. So the rest is going to be a little bit shorter for our inverted programming, and that's mainly due to the fact that we don't need as much rest, right? So if I'm doing sets of 5 of a weight that I could do for 12 to 15 reps, I don't need a whole minute's rest, right? So I could go anywhere from really 30 seconds to 90. As the sets get higher and higher, I'm going to need more rest, but as I start out, I really don't need that much rest, okay? But here, the sets and reps are going to require more rest, okay? Because we're getting closer to fatigue with this higher rep range. So, yeah, in a textbook setting, this probably will say more like 1 to 2 minutes of rest, but if you're a strength training athlete and you're doing a set of 10 takes a lot out of you. You're going to take more than 1 to 2 minutes of rest. So this is kind of almost, I would say, even being modest. Like if I'm doing a max set of 10, it's going to take me 5 to maybe 10 minutes to get up and go again because it just takes so much out of you. While here, it's not so much. So again, while I use this for more novice intermediate athletes, and that's because I can have more practice with repetitions, good repetitions in multiple sets without having their form break down. So if I'm going to do a max set of 10 or a set of 15, whatever it may be, as I'm getting closer to those max amount of reps, so 10 to 15 reps, my form's going to start to fall. That's just kind of what happens when you get tired. Whatever is your weakest link is going to start showing up more and more. So if I'm doing a set of 10, and let's say my core is the weakest link, as I'm getting a set rep 8 or 9, you're going to start noticing that I might be leaning a little bit farther forward. I might be bending or rounding just a tad bit more than I was in all the other reps. Through an inverted periodization programming style, I don't have to worry about that because I'm staying in a rep zone that's not getting me fatigued, and if I need more rest, I can take more rest. So again, I think this is a really, really great thing we can use for a lot of novice to intermediate lifters, or lifters who have a high max and doing sets of 10 at say 70% is going to be really hard for them. So doing 3 sets of 10 would be hard, but we could do 10 sets of 3 using the same intensity. So yeah, hope you liked it, and let me know what you think. I'm going to start doing videos with all my articles. I think that gives people the option of either listening to it, reading it, watching it, whatever they want to do. So this will be video 1, and I hope you guys enjoy.